Jaguar has always been adept at finding that delicate balance between style and performance. The 1973 E-Type is proof positive that it has show-stopping good looks and a power plant that is not for the faint of heart.
It's a Jaguar E Type V12, and it's quite different from the American cars because a little more sophistication as far as suspension, brakes, and so on. In the 60s, I was into the Chevelles and had a lot of fun with those. They go like crazy, and I love the sound of a good American V8, but this car is really neat too in its own right, with the 12 being so smooth, all kinds of torque, and the brakes are phenomenal. It'll corner, and it's a lot of fun to drive.
Although this Jaguar engine was accustomed to finishing on the podium, its sophisticated good looks was earning accolades off the track as well.
This particular model, the E-Type, was always a really interesting car. I think as soon as people would see one, I mean, it just stood out. And even today, I don't think the design really is tired. I think it's a good-looking design. As a matter of fact, it's one of 3 cars that you can find in the Museum of Art. There are only 3 there, and then one of them is an E-Type Jag. So I think that says something for the design. It's kind of timeless. I think they look great. They've always been a great performer, and one of the neat things about them, they always were great value for the money compared to, like, to get another car that would perform like that with the brakes and so on, say a Ferrari, you're talking, you know, double, triple the money. So for dollar value, they were great cars. Now, I've always heard rumors about them being unreliable. I've had 3 different Jags, never had a problem with them. I think a lot of it is just being, you know, the regular maintenance and so on, looking after them. They take a little more TLC than some of the other cars around.
Robert's history with this particular automobile is an interesting one.
I'm the original owner of the car. It's 26 years old, and I've had it for 21 of the 26 years. I actually sold it to a friend at one point. He had it for 5 years, and during the time he had it, he put 5,000 miles on it. And it's kind of a tradition because it's 26 years old. It has just turned 29,000 miles. It's just nicely broken in. So it's only averaged a little over 1,000 miles a year. I was without the car for 5 years, and during that time, of course, you know, I'd still go to some shows and I'd see one and I'd think, oh, I really like that car. I really miss it. And actually, I started looking for one, and I found a Roadster in St. Catharines, Ontario, and I went down, took it for a drive. It was a little tired. It needed a lot of work. The suspension needed some work. The interior wasn't in very good shape. Needed a paint job. But it was all there. And the fellow had a factory hardtop for it. And so what I did, I gave him a deposit. This was on a Sunday, and I told him that I'd come back on the Wednesday. He could have the hardtop there, and I'd pick up the car. I went home that evening, and the phone rang, and Dennis, the fellow that had bought the car from me, and had it for the 5 years, he called and asked me if I wanted to buy my car back. I said I couldn't believe this. I said, I've just, you know, made a deal on a car today, and now here you call me. So it didn't take too much work to, you know, thinking about it to decide I'd go with my own car because I'd seen it in the summer, and I knew it was still like the day he bought it, and I thought, why do I want to do all this work on another one when I can get one that's still very much like new? So I bought it back, and I was really happy the day I got it back.
One look at the body of this Jag, and you can tell it was built for speed. This car is all engine.
This car is powered by a V12 engine, and it's those extra punches that really makes this baby roll. So I'll just open it up here and let you have a look. A lot of cars today are 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder. This happens to have 12. It's a 5.3 liter, which works out to 326 cubic inches. So it's like a 327 Chevy. But with the extra pulses, that pushing, it gives a very, very smooth acceleration. And the car has a top speed of 150 miles an hour. And it's very hard on gas. I jokingly say it passes most things except gas stations. So. I've taken this car to some of the vintage race weekends. I'm quite a race fan. I still go to a lot of races. And I've taken the car down, and usually over the lunch time they allow you to take your car out on the track and go for a few laps. And I've driven several different cars during that time, Triumphs and other cars. Some that have been very quick, V8 powered, but they don't have any brakes. You come sailing into a corner and your heart goes gulp and you're not sure you're going to get around the corner. With this car, it's just incredible. It doesn't dive when you hit the brakes. It's like somebody throws out an anchor and it just stops. And you can come wailing into a corner at speeds that your head's telling you you're really going a little too fast, but you touch the brake, the car slows down, settles right down, you're around the corner on the power and you're gone. It does everything smoothly without a lot of rough edges, and that's what I like compared to, say, an American car that roars and snarls and bounces and bangs around. This just very smoothly goes about and does the same thing, but with a little more finesse.
Like so many other collectors before him, Robert found out that when the work is finished, it's sometimes hard to let the car go.
Oh, I sometimes think of selling the car, but I usually go out for a drive and I'll come home and shake my head and say no. It's such a ball to drive. It's so unique.